अनम्यूटेड। अच्छा, यूट्यूब लाइव है। जस्ट होल्ड। अच्छा अंकित, यूट्यूब लाइव 1-2 मिनट में स्टार्ट करोगे क्या? हाँ, बस 2 सेकंड के लिए, मतलब क्योंकि पार्टिसिपेंट्स अभी ज्वाइन नहीं हुए, बट स्टिल यूट्यूब पे अचानक किसी ने ज्वाइन कर लिया तो। किसका कॉल आ रहा है मुझे? ऐसा कुछ मुझे आइडिया नहीं होगा। नहीं, 10 को वही लिखा है। ठीक है, ओके, डन डन।
ओके
ओके, परफेक्ट है सब कुछ। अंकित सेट है? ओके, पार्टिसिपेंट ऐड। हेलो हेलो हेलो, म्यूट पे होता है। हाँ अंकित, स्टार्ट कर सकते हो क्या? एक मिनट कृपा। हेलो, जस्ट एक सेकंड ना, कृपा म्यूट पे चली गई क्या शायद? हेलो कृपा।
हाय या आई एम देयर।
हाँ ओके, स्टार्ट करते हैं। पार्टिसिपेंट स्टार्ट करना शुरू कर देते हैं हम। 5 मिनट्स बाकी है। अंकित स्टार्ट करो आप, कोई इशू नहीं। यस यस, या
So if my internet becomes a little unstable, you can probably message me or something on WhatsApp. Just check.
ओके, आई होप माय स्क्रीन इज विजिबल।
Yeah.
ओके,
करो वो मुझे जरा तो और पता नहीं है because I don't aware.
so welcome. Yeah, the participants are joining, so we'll start the session at 5 o'clock. Okay, the number is increasing. Yeah, welcome all of you. Yeah, so wait for more. Yeah, so we'll wait for till 5 o'clock, just 3 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, I welcome all of you. Yeah, the participants are still joining. So we'll wait for 1 2 minutes and we'll start exactly at 5 o'clock. I welcome all the participants. I hope my voice is clear to all and my screen is visible. If anyone can't my see screen, then just type in the chat box. Okay, great. Okay. Great. The number is continuously increasing. Okay, great. Welcome, guys. We'll wait for a minute and we'll start the session. It's 5 o'clock, and I can see the participants are increasing. So we'll wait for more 1 minute. Okay. I welcome all of you. If my voice is not audible, someone can just type in the chat box that not audible. And hope my screen is visible to all. We'll start the session now. Just wanted to confirm that voice is clear and screen is visible to all and all.
Yes, sir, you're clear.
Yeah. Okay. Okay then. I think the volume is still increasing, but we'll start as the time is 5:1. We'll start the session. I request someone is trying attending with mobile and just scratching on a screen. I just request participants, please, Okay. So I welcome all of you and thank you for joining us today for today's session. Today's session is completely different from our regular session. Okay, so I welcome everyone on behalf of AIC-Pinnacle. My name is Pradeep Patil and I'm a Senior Manager for Government and Corporate Relation at AIC-Pinnacle Entrepreneurship Forum. AIC-Pinnacle is one of the leading incubation center located at Pune, Maharashtra. And today we are taking a webinar on psychological burden being an entrepreneur. This is a very special and different topic from our regular topic. And for this topic, we have a Kruppa with us. I welcome Kruppa for the session. So before starting the session, I'll just wanted to add a few things like okay, the participants. Okay. So participants, I just wanted to know if you have any questions, any doubts, you can just put in the chat box. So at the end of the session, we'll keep a question answer session. So we'll take care that all your doubts and questions will cover up. Okay. So before over to the Kruppa, I'll just brief you about our organization, what AIC-Pinnacle is and what we are doing exactly. So about AIC-Pinnacle, AIC-Pinnacle is globally focused and industry-backed government-supported incubation and investment platform. We are registered as a non-profit Section 8 company. We are here to support incubation, investment, entrepreneurship, and employment generation. Our goal is to support the creation of vibrant and high-impact entrepreneurial ecosystem, which focused on innovation and key sector, which leads to inclusive and sustainable technological and social economic development of India. We are supported by Atal Incubation Mission, MSME, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Also, we are the official partner of West CII, that is Confederation of Indian Industry for the Western region. So I also like to introduce with our team members that we have a chief mentor, Dr. Raghunath Mashalkar. He is a scientist, Padma Vibhushan and Padma Bhushan awarded. Our founder, Dr. Sudhir Mehta, is a chairman and managing director of Pinnacle Industries and also newly elected president for MCCII. Our CEO, Jeet Vijay, is a former ex-chancellor for the Texas University, USA. We have an advisory board. Okay, there are a lot of experience and experts in our advisory board. Umesh Sarangi, Arvind Mahajan, Harish Mehta, Satish Mehta, Padmaja Ruparel. So there is even we have a senior mentors team like Ashwini Shastri, Suhas Bakshi, Rakesh Karla, Aditya Pitle, Rohit Goel, and Rutuja Jagtap, Vikram Salunke. So due to time restriction, I'll just keep the slide and move forward. You can check that information on our website as well. And at AIC-Pinnacle, we also have an IP facilitation center that protects your innovation. Under this, we are providing services like copyright protection, patent, trademark, design registration, GI registration, and all. So if you have required any support for these services, you can drop a message. I'll update my contact information in chat box at the end of the session. Even would like to now I have introduced about our organization, and I would like to say about our impact, what we are doing that is very good impact in the society. That we have a 25 plus incubating till August 20, 100 plus startups in the pipeline we have. So we have key partners like CII, MSME Technology, NRDC. We also have an incubator in Israel. So we not working in a national span as well as an out of India international span as well. And we have a partnership with industries, academics, NGO partners. We have held more than 150 events till date, 35 training seminars and workshops. That is specifically on entrepreneurship. Remaining separate topics are there. So our 6 startups got national level awards, 2 got international level awards. We have a huge infrastructure in Pune, more than 20,000 square feet, and we all the facilities with lab, conference room, meetings room, 150 plus workstation and all. So we are supporting startups and their ideas, innovation in all the aspects. So there is a lot to say about organization. So due to time restriction, I just recommend that you can visit our website, AIC-Pinnacle.org. And also I'll put our contact detail in the chat box at the end of the session. So you can easily contact us and we'll take care of your entrepreneur journey. So I'll after this introduction, I'll just welcome Kruppa, and I just wanted to introduce a bit about the Kruppa. He's completed his master in psychology. He's a psychotherapist, numerologist. Also completed his clinical psychology, and completed his advanced diploma in counseling as well, and completed RECBT training at Albert Lerais Institute, New York, and also pursued Hypnosis at ICHARS, and he's completed lot of educational degrees and having a lot of knowledge. Also work with the Sion Hospital, Mumbai, Copper Hospital, Mumbai, and also founder at Kane Clinic. So I welcome Kruppa for this session. And today's topic is a little bit different, because normally when we say entrepreneurs, business, then the topics comes in our mind is marketing, finance, operation, technology. But this is something different and important. Normally psychological topics are normally on a second priority, but this is very important topic, because any kind of our personal or organizational work, mentality, or in other words we can say psychology is very important. So when we are going with the entrepreneurship journey, business journey, there is a lot of pressure there is a lot of burdens in our mind. So how to tackle with that burdens? So I think Kruppa definitely will guide us, and after this session we'll definitely come out with the positivity. So I'll over this session to Kruppa. Hello.
Hi everyone.
Yeah. Hi Kruppa. I'll just
thank you.
over the session to you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pradeep, for having me, and thank you so much for such a kind introduction. And since you all know me now, let me tell you something. My life is amazing. I wake up every day at 5 a.m. with a big smile on my face, and that too without an alarm clock. Because you know why? Passion wakes me up. After an hour of power yoga, I hop into the shower and visualize my dreams and goals. And you know what? Unlike you, I can decide what I want to do with my day. I can decide where I want to go on a holiday, for how long, and where exactly what I want to do. The freedom of going anywhere is up to me. Success is my first name, middle name, and my last name. And yes, you guessed it right. I'm an entrepreneur. And yes, it's funny because all of that almost sound true. It's very easy for people to put up a brave face and keep up their appearances and pretend that they are successful, even though they have no idea what they are doing. Most of the times, I feel extremely lonely. I suffer and I constantly worry about money. 2 years back, when I decided to quit my job, I decided that maybe if I quit my job, I'll have everything that I've ever dreamt of. Because obviously, when you're your own boss, you know exactly what to do. You have the flexibility and freedom to do anything that you want. But that's exactly not what the scenario is. What happens on the outside is not exactly how it looks on the inside. So most of us, no matter what, if we are a one-man band, or if we have like 1,000 employees working under us, or if we have like 100 followers, or if we have like 1,000 followers, the resounding feeling is that the life gets tough sometimes, and we feel extremely lonely. In a study by Michael Freeman, he linked the connection between the mental health issues and entrepreneurship. And he found out that 1 in every 3 entrepreneurs goes through a lot of depression and anxiety. So when my family and friends ask me, how are things going? I smile, I grind my teeth, and I say, great. And believe me, that's the toughest thing to ever say. And even though if you're feeling vulnerable, it is extremely important that you tell your friends and family that you are hurting, because that's the best way to receive help. I know that that is extremely scary, but it is very, very important to throw away that mask where you tell yourself that entrepreneur lifestyle is the lifestyle that you should have. और आप सबने ये कोट तो काफी सुना ही होगा. It's a quite famous quote that with great power comes great responsibility. But nobody tells you what comes after the great responsibility. With great responsibility comes great stress. When the stress accumulates, it creates burnout. So what exactly is burnout? Burnout is something where we are completely exhausted and we go through a lot of anxiety and depression. ये सब जो हमें होती है, heart की तकलीफ, diabetes and all of that, it is the result of burnout. We may think that the symptoms are quite physical. It looks very physical to us, but असल में इस सब की शुरुआत यहाँ से हुई है, अपने mind से हुई है. ये सब mental stress की वजह से होता है. So in today's session, let's see how can we take care of these psychological burdens of being an entrepreneur. So the number one thing that we should actually focus on is trust issues, because that is something I think most of all will agree to me that all of y'all go through a lot of trust issues. How to deal with trusting someone with your ideas. For example, if you're going to a venture capitalist and you know that they're going to invest in your company only if you tell them your idea. But that is slightly terrifying, because how do we tell our ideas to them? And the most major fear is that when you are trying to expand your business, when you know that your burden is becoming too much, and you know that you're going to lose control if you expand your business. So that is very scary, and you don't know how to deal with that kind of hardship. So to overcome these trust issues, it's extremely important to know whom do we trust. So I think almost everyone I know has gone through a breakup, or has gone through with a person who's constantly lied, cheated, or hurt them in the past. And why does this happen? This happens because when we start dating, we are typically very new, we are very excited, and we are very naive. So that is going to happen. But when in business, you enter the business world and you think everything is going to be beautiful and everything is going to be very exciting, the minute you think that, you are lied to, you get cheated on, people throw you out of your business, and you lack money to do anything. So today, according to my mentor, we'll go through 4 levels of trust, and we'll go through 6 types of lies what people tell. And that is going to exactly help you on how to trust anybody. So let's have a look at 4 levels of trust from the lowest level to the highest level. Pradeep, can I please have the slide? I hope the slide is shared. Okay, so the first is the zero trust. The trust where you cannot trust anybody. Like, this person who comes to you is completely unknown. The person has no resume whatsoever, and there's no reference to it. And this person, you don't know them at all. He's a complete stranger. So that is zero level trust. The second is the trust where there's a track record of the person. The person comes up with a resume, and the person basically has like a reference to it. So you kind of trust them, not for like, you don't trust them with everything, but you kind of trust them, and you kind of consider them because they have a track record. The third is a friend. So this kind of person, you've done business with them before, and you know that their performance level is good. It's not that great, but you know that you can do business with them. So you have some sort of level of trust with them. And the fourth level, so this is the level, it's called the running mate, where you trust this person with everything. You know that if they call you and tell you that, listen, this is the business we have and we have to invest in it. So you trust them and you invest in that business. You may, if you have like 7 people whom you trust at this position, it is not right, because I think there can only be 1 or 2 people whom you can trust this way. So if you're watching this and if you think that you don't have anybody like that, it's okay. You can't force these things. These things are not like something that will happen overnight. So if I force you to get married to a man or a woman whom you don't know at all, you will obviously end up in a divorce, because that's something that is forced. So how does that come? That usually happens. To get such a person, you have to be cheated on. People have to lie to you. People have to hurt you. You have to get black eyes. And that is how your skin gets thicker. It gets thicker with experience. You get such people with experience. So you should know one thing, that with higher level of success, you start trusting a very low level of people, very low amount of people. And which is extremely important to put, you have to categorize where to put people exactly. So these are the 4 levels of trust. And I'll help you to understand this better when we go on to the levels of lies. So what are the different levels of lies that people tell? There's another screen there's another picture which I would like Pradeep to share, the 6 types of lies what people tell. I'm not sure if you can see the screen. Please let me know if you can see the screen. Sure. I'll actually go ahead with the session. Yeah. So the first lies what people usually tell is the white lies. I'm not saying that only people lie. It's you and me, we all lie on daily basis. So what's a white lie? A white lie is basically when people, like when you tell this to people whom you actually care about, whom you think good about, and you tell these to people who you know that will feel bad if you don't tell them in that way. So basically, for example, if you have if you're married, if you have a wife who comes up to you and asks you that, how do I look today? In your mind will be thinking that, oh, she's gained like 10 pounds, and then you'll be like, no, you look very pretty, you look very beautiful. So that's a white lie that we are telling. The second is exaggeration. So you'll constantly get people who will tell you that, oh, you have a lot of money, and you can invest in how much ever you want because your business is doing great. That's a lie. You have to stay away from those kind of people because they are exaggerating things to you. The next is not keeping their word. You'll often find people who will tell you that, oh, I'll call you back. I will definitely have this business meeting arranged. I will definitely do this by the deadline. But they never keep their word. In fact, I have friends like that. So you have to be very careful of such kind of people. The next is the deceiver. Deceiver is basically a person who would know 80% of the things, but who would just give you like 4 or 5 things of their interest. So it's not wrong to do business with these kind of people. It's absolutely fine to do business, but you just have to be careful. The next is a compulsive liar. This kind of liar is very easy to catch because they are constantly lying. I mean, they will know that you know that they are lying, but they will still come up to you and lie. But after watching this, you shouldn't be like, everybody's a liar and people are deceiving me all the time. It's not like that. It is basically when you go in a boxing match and you can't tell your opponent that, oh my God, why are you hitting me? Why are you knocking me down? Because basically that's his job to do so. You can't tell people around you to change. What you can do is you can get better at defense. You can get better at developing your core. You can flex your muscles. You can last for longer rounds. And what all these things will help you to do is that whenever the opponent is trying to pull out a tactic where they're trying to deceive you, you can exactly catch them there. And you can realize, okay, this is the person I should be careful about. This is the person I should actually not do business with. So these are the categories of lies and the levels of trust that you should actually categorize people in. That is how it's very impossible to get rid of trust issues completely, but you will exactly know whom to do business with, whom to trust in business. Moving on, the next thing which we are really scared of is self-esteem, lack of self-esteem. So basically, lack of confidence is something that comes up with lack of self-esteem. What is lack of self-esteem? Lack of self-esteem is basically you're constantly thinking that you're not good enough to do something. You either set extremely low tasks or you either set extremely high non-achievable tasks. So how do you overcome lack of self-esteem? What do you do? So the one thing that you should be that thing should be there in your head is that confidence is very overrated. People say that, okay, confidence, I have confidence, I can do anything, but confidence is extremely overrated. In order to be confident, you have to start with something. You can't be like, listen, I don't have confidence to do this, I'm never going to start this again. But to be confident, you have to start with somewhere. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Also, I'll tell you a small trick. It's not going to be something huge, but it's going to be a trick which will definitely help you. Whenever you're taking a business deal or whenever you're making a decision or whenever you feel that you're really scared of your haters or you feel insecure, you have to be extremely focused on the message that you're giving out. You have to, basically, the questions that you should ask yourself is, how is this going to help the people around me? How do I make my product so creative that it's going to help people? How do I get money in my business? What do I do that this business runs smoothly? If you're thinking about that, it is definitely going to pick up. But if you're constantly thinking about what are people going to think of me? Are they going to like me or no? Oh, my image is really spoiled in the market. It is not going to work out. You have to focus on the message and not on what people think of you. Another two major things which I think are a part of lack of self-confidence is impatience and procrastination. So what is procrastination? Procrastination is this fancy word which people usually use it as, oh, I'm quite lazy. I don't think I can do this. I'm going to take a lot of time to finish this because I'm very bored. But basically, laziness is something which is just a word. And under that, there are these two things which are extremely high level anxiety which people have. So those are fear of rejection and fear of failure. So I tell you a case of mine. I had repeated this on my last Instagram live, so I'll just tell it to you. So basically, I had a client who came up to me and told me that I'm feeling extremely lazy to make a resume. I don't think I can finish it, so I don't think I can send it across to the company. So basically, after 2 or 3 sessions, we realized that it wasn't laziness. It was actually the fear of rejection. So basically, when she'll make a resume, she'll have to send out the resume. And once she sends it out, you know that the office is either going to reject her or either going to accept her. So that is the fear of rejection. And something which is extremely surprising is that perfectionists are major procrastinators because they feel that they do not possess the skills only to do the task. So why to do it? And people who make poor decision making, they go through a lot of poor decision making skills are those people who also procrastinate because they feel that if I cannot take a decision correctly, then it's okay. I might just not take it at all. So basically, these are procrastinators. And how do you overcome this? The first thing that you do is you set achievable goals. Now, when you're listening to me, you might feel like ये तो सबको पता है. Timetable मैं भी बनाता हूँ, goals भी मैं भी करता हूँ. But basically, the problem here is that the goals which we are making are extremely non-achievable. Like if you make a goal that I want to be a billionaire, it's not going to happen because that goal is extremely huge. And basically, for that goal, you have to go through a lot of small achievable goals to reach that unachievable goal. So, for example, your this goal, I want to be extremely healthy, is very vague. That's a vague goal. What's a constructive goal? A constructive goal is to be extremely healthy. I might have to drink water every 2 hours. I might have to eat low-calorie diet. That is an achievable goal. So it's very important that you set extremely small, break down your tasks and set extremely achievable goals. The next thing that we move on to is you have to set a deadline. So if you have a goal, but you don't have a deadline, you don't know when to finish it, you will be in a swoon. It's very important to set your timing that I'm going to finish this off in 2 hours, or I'm going to definitely do this by Thursday. You have to set deadline. The third thing that we are all aware, I don't think that we are all aware of this, but it's something that I've learned from my fitness trainer. And because of COVID, we are having online workout sessions. So he says he gives out this 10-minute rule. He says that you come to workout, खाली 10 minutes के लिए workout करने के लिए आओ. And then probably if you think that your body is sore, or if you feel that you cannot really, if you feel lazy to do it, then don't do it. That is the same thing that I've applied in my tasks, and it's worked brilliantly. I'm guaranteeing you that 99% of your tasks will, like 99% of the times you'll be able to finish the task if you just set this 10-minute rule. You just have to go for 10 minutes, do the task, and if you feel bored, you can just definitely stop doing the task. So these are the points that will help you overcome procrastination. We'll move on to impatience. What is impatience? Impatience is that you're really you really want the results quicker. You want the money to be flowing. You want to make this decision extremely very quickly, and you want to get a promotion super quickly. So these are the things which cause impatience in you. So I'll give you an example. Okay, if you're getting late to a meeting, you have to go to the office, and you are in a cab, but it shows that it's 45 minutes away. So when you're sitting in the cab, you're constantly worrying about, oh my God, I'm really late. What am I going to do? How am I supposed to reach there? But you know that because you're worrying, it's not going to happen like you're going to reach in like 5 minutes. That's not possible. You will take the same amount of time to reach. So what is happening over here? You're putting yourself twice in this situation. Once when you're already in the cab, and once when you'll finally reach the office and be in front of your boss. So that is something that you should be really careful about. Do not put yourself twice in a situation where you know the results are going to come later. The next thing that we look at is the quality. When you're really impatient, you don't realize that you'll be affecting the quality. And quality is better than quantity. Everybody knows this. So if you're doing a task, it's not important that how quickly you do it. If you have like 8 chapters to finish off, it's okay if you do 2 chapters, but it's okay to do it extremely perfect. It is quality over quantity. But I'm not saying that impatience is completely wrong. It's completely that it's not supposed to happen. But impatience is sometimes good also. Sometimes you have shortcuts, or sometimes you have options which are better than just taking the long route. And it's fine to be impatient. You can take up that route, but you have to do a thorough R&D and then go ahead. So just take care of the quality when you are impatient, and I think that will help you. The next thing, and the final thing that we move on to, is how to maintain a family and work-life balance. How to not feel lonely. How to get this proper me time. How to meet your friends. So these are the 3 basic key points which I would like to tell you all. The first is time management. It's really important that how are you managing your time? Are you misusing your time, or are you using it in the correct way? The major thing that all of us face is that sometimes we are kind of busy doing other activities when we are at work. We waste a lot of time. So it's very important that you prioritize your tasks. You have to decide you have to finish off the tasks that you have to do in a day, so that when you come back home, you don't have to carry that much work at home. Because what happens is that when you're at home, when you're with your friends and family, you know that you have to spend some time with them, but at the back of your head, you will constantly have this thing going on like, oh, I have work. And tell me, how many times have we received this word urgent in our mails or in our group meetings? Or even when we come back home in our group WhatsApps, how many times have we received the word urgent? So even people tell you that, okay, you don't need to do it abhi. Ab baad mein kar sakte ho, subah ko kar sakte ho. But what happens when you're sitting with your friends and family? That thing is constantly running in your head. You cannot really pay attention to them. So probably if you are an entrepreneur, or if you have employees working under you, it's really important that you set a rule. For example, if you have your office from 10 to 5, just make it a rule that after 5 p.m., you're not going to pick up any work calls or receive any messages from work. This is something that you have to do it compulsory. even with your employees. Do not disturb them at after 5 p.m. And even with you, it should be a rule that I'm not going to do it. The next is money management. And I'm sure all of you all will agree to that all of us, we work for money. Some of them will say that, oh, I work for my passion. But passion at the end gets you money, right? Because money is that all of us require. So it's very important that you manage your money properly. You make an Excel sheet, or you have like a record of your savings. You have money which is going to be extremely useful when there are unexpected things happening at your home. Money that is required for household problems, money that is required to go on a vacation. So it's very important that you have a track record of money. Because कल उठ के अगर कुछ हो गया, something bad happens, so you're very okay with it, is because you know that you have money. You know that you can keep a track record of money and you can use it. The next thing that we will go on to is stress management and self-care. How do you do that? So, for example, if your phone is filled with a lot of apps or it's filled with a lot of data, what do? What does your phone become? It keeps lagging, right? You have to free up some space, you have to delete some data so that it can work smoothly. Your mind is exactly the same. You have to delete some files, you have to give your mind a peaceful time. You have to restart your mind and you just have to sit and breathe. That is required sometimes, and we often don't do that. So basically, taking the self-care, what is self-care? Basically, self-care are the most basic things. It is, exercising, meditating, and eating good food. And you know what happens after all of this? You get a good night's sleep. Which is extremely important. So that's all for today. I hope this was kind of helpful. And thank you. Pradeep, are you there?
Hello. Yeah. Thank you for such a informative session. I hope everyone get a positivity out of this. So, Krippa, there is a lot of questions from the participants. Can we take one by one?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'll just read one first question. Okay, as you mentioned, you can maintain a schedule. Do not pick call after 5. The responsibility does allow. So there's a question from Binu Gopal Singla.
Okay.
But the responsibility does not allow to not pick call after 5.
Right. So that is exactly what I think everybody faces, and that is the reason I said it's something which is very important that you set a deadline. And even though you have a lot of responsibilities, I understand, but you maintain a time, you give those 2-3 hours to yourself or to your family where you strictly tell yourself a no. It's very easy to get into business. It's very easy to fall into responsibilities and be like, no, I have to do this today. I'm going to achieve this today. But is there something that is not going to wait till the next morning? Can't you have like some kind of self-control where you set those 2 hours, especially for your family and friends? I think that is something which happens consciously. You have to draw that line. You have to be quite responsible towards your family. And if you feel that from inside, I think you can definitely do it.
Yeah, definitely. We have to maintain the work-life balance. Perfect, Lala. So there is one more questions from Nitesh. It is wise to be an entrepreneur considering side effects of mental stress.
Is it wise to be an entrepreneur?
Considering side effects of mental stress.
I think it's fantastic that you're an entrepreneur. It's really nice. And I think stress is everywhere. People who are doing business, like people who are not an entrepreneur, even the employers, I think everybody is really stressed. Mental stress is not going to leave anybody. It is important that how are you going to control it? See, honestly, you can't control certain things. Now, I'm going to tell you that, listen, you have to control COVID. It's not that you're going to control COVID. You can't do anything about it. But what you can do is you can take precautions. Likewise, mental stress is going to affect everybody, no matter what. People, in fact, mental stress affects even a homemaker, even a housewife. She's not doing anything. She's not even an entrepreneur, but she's handling the whole house. My mom handles the whole house, and she's really stressed. And I have to sometimes sit with her. So mental stress is going to affect everybody. It's just that what kind of precautions are you taking? It is extremely important that you take care of yourself. You all of those things which I've just said, that you keep a check on yourself every day. That is something very important.
Right. Thanks for the guiding. Yeah, there is one more questions from Mayank Patidar that he's asking how to give up the fear of public speaking.
Yeah. So basically, public speaking is something which is a stem coming from lack of self-esteem. That maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I can't do this. So what do we do in such scenarios? I will just give you a very small tip, which is I think is going to really help you. Whenever we go to such things, whenever basically we are on a stage and we are giving a speech, you have to realize that not everybody is thinking about you. We as people, we have the tendency that we think that when we are going out there, everybody is looking at you. There'll be like 200 people who are unbothered with your speech. There'll be like 400 people who like your speech, who are genuinely interested in the content. And then there will be people who maybe don't like your speech. But you have to ask yourself, do I have some sort of evidence for this? मेरे पास कोई proof है कि ये लोग मुझे like नहीं करते? No, I don't have any proof because I don't know what's going on in their head. So maybe whatever I am thinking it could be wrong, right? So this is one of the solutions. And second, I feel that you have to think about the worst scenarios. You have to basically, if you have public speaking skill and then you go and talk to somebody, you might just think that, oh, I'm really stupid. How could I say this to someone? So think about the worst situations. What's going to happen? What is the worst that could happen? You talk to someone, people think that you're stupid, and then what? What is going to happen? What's the worst thing? Could you die? Could it hamper your whole social image? And for how long? Okay, even if it's hampering, for how long? So you ask yourself the first question. So I think these 2 points will kind of somewhat help you. Try it the next time.
Yeah, thank you for guiding. Okay, we'll take the next question. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There is a question from participants. How do you overcome the fear of financial problems?
Okay. So, okay, I get this a lot. So this could be a little brief, what I'm going to talk about. So I think financial crisis, most of them, even in COVID, I think most of them are going through a lot of
many entrepreneurs face this at the startup level. Many.
Yeah. I believe that many people face this. Absolutely, Pradeep. So what do? So the first thing that I think you have to do is you have to actually, that's what I do. You have to actually sit down and write in complete detail that where are you facing an issue? Where are the financial crises happening? You have to completely journal it, you have to completely write down in detail. Second thing, I think, again, the thing that I've said before, that you have to kind of think about the worst situations. If you don't have this kind of, if you don't have this kind of money, what is the worst thing that could happen? The third thing, I feel that you have to actually, the third thing is counting your blessings. You have to actually ask yourself that, do I have that kind of money to keep a roof on my head? Do I have that kind of money to feed my family? Do I have that kind of money to at least survive right now? If you think that these things are fine, you'll at least get a little clear perspective that, okay, maybe the situation is not that bad. Maybe it's sort of okay. And I think it's something that I can handle. The next thing that you can do is that you have to brainstorm. You have to kind of come up with ideas which you think are going to help you, which you think that this is the way out. The next thing, And I'm telling you all these things in very short is because, I mean, the thing is quite huge. And I'm telling you all of this is because I don't know if we have time or no, but I'm just going to say it. The last thing which I think is that you have to really worry about the behaviors that are self-destructive. Sometimes people who are going through a lot of problems, they have this thing where they'll shop. They'll just keep shopping, like, compulsive shoppers. And then you'll have other people who are constantly eating because eating good food makes me feel good. So you know that you have financial crisis. So you have to realize what are the self-destructive behaviors. Where can I save myself from overly spending these, like from spending on these things? How can I spend? How can I save money? So I think these are the few points which are going to definitely help you. And maybe you can categorize your problems in these 5, 6 points that I've mentioned and see if it works out for you.
Yeah, thank you for guiding, Kripa. We'll continue with the next question. I hope you will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a one very important questions from. Can you just brief how to switch off? Even I'm not on a working place, but constantly my mind stays on mind stay on the work.
How to switch off? How to constantly?
Right. Yeah, constantly.
Put your,
He's not on the workstation, but still he's thinking on that. So how you can guide on this?
Yeah. So as I mentioned it before, that you have to restart your mind, just like how you restart your phone when there are a lot of files that are there in your head and you have to kind of delete them all. So I think sometimes even I, as an entrepreneur, I run my clinic, and sometimes even when I'm sleeping, the work thing, the sessions are constantly going on in my head, and sometimes it becomes extremely difficult to switch off my mind. So I think you will have to constantly, like, tell yourself consciously, very consciously, instruct yourself that stop. I think it's getting too much, and I don't think that I have to think about this. And I know this is a very temporary solution. So the permanent solution to this is that whenever you're overthinking about these things, you realize that half of these things are not even there. You're just kind of creating it. You're creating future scenarios. Because हम लोग कैसे होते हैं ना, हम सबके पास, which I think I put up a video on this, हम सबके पास है ना एक मैनुअल स्क्रिप्ट होती है, हमारे लाइफ की स्क्रिप्ट, कि ये ऐसे ही होना चाहिए, अगर ये ऐसे नहीं होगा तो आई एम गोइंग टू बी इन अ मेस. This person has to like me. I have to be extremely happy so that this person will like me. I have to be extremely confident so that मेरा webinar अच्छा जाए. So these are the rules which are there in our manual script. So we have to understand that these rules are something which are called beliefs. Beliefs are something that we make in our head, which is not actually true. जो maybe सच्चाई नहीं होती. And what you have to do is you have to, whenever you're overthinking, you have to match these things with the reality. You have to ask yourself that is this something जो मैंने अपने manual script में लिखा है कि ये चीज actual में reality में हो रही है. So basically, for example, if I tell you about COVID, because it's the most recent thing and it's great for an example, because of COVID, we think that, everything is going really bad. And I'm just telling you, India is going to lose a lot of people because of COVID. But we do not know the facts. We do not know how many people are actually dying, what is exactly happening. Even in the news, it's not clearly there that this thing is happening. We don't really know the facts. So basically, this is what we've created in our head. So it is extremely important that you control your mind, and that can happen very consciously. Whenever you're thinking about business and you think that is constantly running, what are we doing? We are constantly thinking about what is going to happen in future. Future में क्या हो सकता है, अगर ये ऐसा होगा तो क्या होगा? So you ask yourself कि future में जो होने वाला है, उसका answer I'm going to get in future only. It's not something that I am going to get it right now. And if you doubt yourself, I don't think I'm going to do this. ये business deal तो वैसे होने ही नहीं वाला. So basically, you ask yourself that this is something what I am thinking, or this is something what people have told me. This is something where I have a solid proof for. This is matching the reality. So when you realize that it's not actually matching the reality, you will realize that it's high time that you need to stop these thoughts. You need to get over it. So I feel that consciously you can stop these thoughts. Consciously you can tell yourself, I don't have to think about this. I have to focus because this may not be the reality. So I think this is going to kind of help you.
Yeah, that's definitely going to help. Yeah, thank you for answering such questions. Now, can we take a few more questions?
Definitely, yeah. If you have time.
Yeah. So one more question is that how can trust be sustained?
Okay, that's a very nice question and a very uncertain question because trust, I will tell you very honestly, and this may sound extremely brutal to you, but trust basically happens when, as I mentioned it to you before, that trust basically happens when you go through a lot of people like cheating on you or lying to you. Trust is not something which you can sustain like for a long period of time. I trust this person. I'm going to trust this person for the rest of my life. And you're not sure this person can even cheat on you, lie to you. And that is exactly how the trust can be sustained. You need to be lied upon, you need to be cheated upon. You need to go through those experiences to finally get a person whom you can actually trust. And that is how you can sustain trust. So I think experience is the key here. There is no other key to this. Let's just be very practical.
Yeah, thanks Krupa for guiding. So we'll take last or one more question.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a very important question from Tejas. That how to keep going when we hit a bump and see the other friends are doing great.
Yeah. As I think I'm getting questions from just what I've said, like throughout my content. I told you about um, something where I mentioned to you that lack of self-esteem, that confidence is quite overrated. And I told you that the most important thing to this is that you focus on the message, that you don't focus on what people are thinking of you, or you don't focus on whether people like you or not. You actually have to focus on what are you doing that is going to help other people, or what are you doing that is going to help you. If you're going to constantly look around what people are talking about you, about your self-image and everything, what you're going to do is you're going to kind of hit a stop, like a roadblock, because you can't get up from a place where you're constantly thinking about everybody else. So you avoid, I know it's very difficult to avoid these thoughts, but there's this very amazing mantra which I've got from my last webinar from one of my panelists. And she says that whenever you go through something like that, you use this mantra. It's called Om Ignorai Namah. So just ignore everybody, ignore those thoughts, and just focus on yourself. Focus on what you can do for yourself, what you can do for your business. How can you help other people? There is see, success is attained at different ages. I opened my clinic 2 years back. I was 24. Now I'm 26. And believe me, I think it's only been a couple of months since COVID that I am getting a lot of clients. I am getting where I have to be. So success is different for everybody. You know, some people marry at the age of 30, some people marry at the age of 22. It's not in our hands. It's important that how you live your life. Success will come sooner or later, but you don't have to compare your lives with other people's lives. So I hope that helps you. I hope, Pradeep, you're there.
Yeah. Okay. Now I think
Yeah.
audible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So one very important question from Garima that she's asking.
Yeah.
My family problems keep intervening in my professional life. What do I do? Yeah. So family and professional life. The question is between family life and professional. Family is continuously intervening in professional life. So how to deal with that situation?
Yeah. I think many of these people are facing the same issue, and that's a very nice question. So because of COVID, I think a lot of people were doing work from home, and it got really irritating for them because parents would interfere again and again. So I think that is one of the family problems. And of course, there are a lot of family problems which interfere with work problems. So how do you deal with it? You have to realize that family is something, like their perspective is something that we cannot change. No matter how hard we try, we cannot change their perspective because they have been carrying those values and those ethics since a very long time. So you can't really change it overnight. What you can do is you kind of have to live your life according to you. You have to avoid whatever they're telling you. You have to. I know that it gets really difficult. Again, as I mentioned it earlier, that it gets very difficult to avoid. But realize that you cannot change. These people are going to be the way they are. You have to keep doing your work. It's like I will give you this example that you even though just bolte hai ki, even though an elephant is walking by and the dogs are still barking at the elephant, but elephant doesn't give a damn and just keeps walking. So even though no matter what they are doing to you, you have to be really focused. You have to keep ignoring them because they are somebody who you can't change. So don't go with the aim that you will change them or you will be able to finish off these problems. These problems are going to be there. You can't change them. So what you can change is you can change your perspective towards it. You can change the thinking, okay, these are the distractions which are going to be there. How am I supposed to be adapted to these distractions? When you go to Canada, you can't be like, oh, it's really cold. I don't think I can survive. You have to learn to survive within those calamities, within that atmosphere. You have to learn to survive like that. So yeah.
Thank you. I hope we have covered almost all the questions, but still there are continuously questions coming from the participants. I request participants that we have a time restriction till 6 o'clock. So if you have any more questions, you can contact us. Even you can contact Kruppa. She will definitely share her mail ID and contact number. Even I have shared our contact details in chat box. So you can share your questions, doubt on that. I'll just roll out to Kruppa and then she will definitely answer. So for today, we have to stop because we have a time restrictions. Kruppa, you want to add something at the end?
I think it was really great being here and answering all of the questions, and it was really interesting. And I am so happy that I'm a part of this. And it's very important to reach out to people for mental health because mental health is a taboo right now, and but currently, honestly, I'm seeing that so many people are interested in coming out and coming for therapy. So it's really nice to see that, and it's really nice that even you people who are at such a big level, who are into marketing, sales, and everything, you guys want to do a psychological session, which is a great progress. And I cannot be thankful enough for this. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
And thank you everyone for attending this. It's really
Thank you, Kruppa, and attendees. We are definitely touched as different aspects of entrepreneurship. Normally, we talk about marketing, finance, operation, technology. Right. But psychologically, we have normally, not more concentrated, but this is very important aspect. And Kruppa has guided us very well. So stay tuned with us for the next knowledge session. We'll definitely update you the topics and joining links and everything. And at the chat box, I have shared our contact details, organization websites and all. So if you have any questions, doubt, you can just contact us. I'll roll out to Kruppa. And so for today, we'll stop here and we'll continue in the next week, Friday, with another topic. So thank you for participants. We'll end the session today. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you.